Go ahead, me. And welcome everybody here to another year of the Region 19 Female Flag Football Edition. I'm Asa Costa, joined alongside the Hall of Fame coach Tony Grijalva and Director of Zebra Sports LLC. Gentlemen, come over here. Come over here. There we go. Mr. Richard Corona here. Richard, day one already in the books here for female flag football, and what a sight it was last night.
Yes, sir. It was an awesome sight to see these girls. I heard her playing.
Let's go to move a little bit closer. Move the mic a little bit closer. There you go.
We had some awesome games last night. I mean, some real close games, and then we had a stunner last night. Harmony loses to Parkland.
And we'll get into all the scores and recaps here shortly here. Richard, going into season 2 of female flag football, 38 teams competing in this tournament here that lasted 5 weeks. Did you ever see it getting to this level of competition here when you guys thought about this last year?
You know, when we thought about it last year, I didn't think it was going to be that big, but it has grown tremendously. You know, some of the teams last year had 10 or 12 girls. This year we got teams with 25 girls on there, and it's just exploded. And the schools have all accepted it. Girls have accepted it. The parents are out here dressed in shirts saying, you know, their school colors and everything. And one school said, hey, girls can play football too. And I was surprised at that shirt last night.
Coach?
Yeah, no, and one of the things, Richard, that I've noticed is, you know, just the level of play from year one. And I still remember back last year in the first couple of weeks, you know, there were some teams struggling, you know, but as the year passed, it got a little bit better. But this year, I'm really surprised at that level of competition this year.
Oh, yeah, the talent has just grown. I mean, you got girls out there playing, you know, one high safety and they got the shadow going out there, shadowing the quarterbacks. You know, they're shadowing the good quarterbacks and forcing them to play ball. Versus last year, hey, the quarterback could sit back there and throw the ball down the field to that one receiver. But some teams got 3 and 4 receivers that are really good, and they're forced to play those girls.
It's good. You'll see some teams running, you know, cross patterns there, trying to, you know, disguise their coverage and everything. It's good to see. Now, teaming up with the NFL, helping to kind of spear this project along. What results have you seen from them being excited about, you know, female flag football here in El Paso?
It's just both clubs are really awesome. They've helped us out a lot. You know, we talk to them every week. I was on the phone this morning with them. The Cowboys trophy arrived today. It's about 3.5 feet tall. I mean, it's an awesome looking trophy. You know, I was talking with Bobby Taylor just a few minutes ago. He's flying in tomorrow, and the Cowboys and all them Cowboys and Texans will be flying in tomorrow. So we're gonna have a lot of people here to see these girls play ball. It's
a lot here, and of course we couldn't do it without the help of sponsors and other special organizations. So who would you like to give a thanks to for help putting this along?
You know, we got so many sponsors this year. You know, we got Group One Auto. You know, the Audi, the Ford. You know, that group has helped us out. They're giving us free loaner cars here, what we use to move stuff around. We have who else do we have?
You got a lot. Let's pull up that you got the Brian Kennedy Law Firm. You got Bubba's 33, which helped us sponsor some of the food as well. Mesa Trophies.
Mesa Trophies, yes.
And then, of course, looking at my screen here, we've got Mesa Trophies, Hurt Rentals. Yes. That's part of your clinic, which we're about to get into as well. So it's cool to see. Like I said, it's a big undertaking with 38 teams competing all at once here. But so far, going into day 2, how excited are you?
I'm very excited. You know, today, you know, we went from a double elimination to a single elimination, so the girls have to show up and play. Last year, you could lose one game and make it all the way to championship game. This year, you lose one, you're going home.
Right. It's a tough one. Now, going on this week, obviously, is female flag football, but your annual El Paso Officials Camps is taking place here. Can you tell folks about that and how important is it, because you got some top caliber officials coming in here for this clinic?
Yes. We're starting tomorrow night. We got a surprise for everybody. We have an international group that came in on Monday from Mexico. They're going to work the Socorro High School spring game tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to put 2 crews out there, and the NFL and some of their staff was coming in early are going to do some evaluations for us on those officials. But then on Thursday morning, the rest of the campers and staff come in, and we're going to start here at the SAC at 1:00, and then we have a set game at the SAC, and then we have 4 other games around the city. We're at Del Valle, Eastwood, Bel Air, El Dorado, Americas, and Pebble Hills tomorrow night, besides the SAC.
Coach, imagine getting some quality officials to cover your spring game.
That makes it's like a regular season game, and it's very important for the players and the coaches as well to get used to that level and have that type of officiating as well.
And one thing what we're doing this year, we invited the game that was being played in SAC 2. I think East Lake is playing tomorrow night. So the East Lake on Friday morning, the NFL is going to do the breakdown of the film. So we're going to put everything up on there, good, bad, and ugly, and they're going to break down the film. And we invited their coaching staff to come out here and see what the officials go through, breakdown, and if they have any questions, they can ask those questions to the people who are breaking down the film and saying, hey, what did you see on this play? Or if he has a play head he really wants us to throw up on the board, we're going to throw it up on the board and let everybody see it.
Oh, that's great. And I mean, that's great as far as coaching points, for the coaches as they prepare for the season. And I think that's a great idea and it should really, really help.
Yes, sir.
It should be good there. Now, there's some special items that are going to be raffled off here at the stadium today and tomorrow where people can buy tickets. Let's talk first about the Texans giveaway or raffle items here as you'll see it on your screen shortly. Go ahead and tell people about how the Texans send over some stuff here.
Well, they sent us an autographed football.
You can see on there.
For number 5. It's got a certificate of authenticity. There's a shirt from what they gave out to the girls for Hannah
McNair,
the owner. She designed that shirt right there, and then we got 2 pictures of some of their other players on there.
That's good there. So tickets are going to be $10 each or 2 for $15. You can buy them here at the stadiums both days, and then they'll be raffled off at the end before the championship game.
Before the Region 19 championship game.
Sure, that championship game that's going to be happening tomorrow at 7:30 right here at SAC number 2. As we move to the Dallas Cowboy raffle items, which I know a lot of Cowboy fans, and there's one up here that's actually hitting the buttons, is they came and they got some special items there, Richard.
Yeah. Yes, the football signed by the quarterbacks and running back group. Des Bryant has signed it. We have the helmet. The team helmet is signed by the whole team of the 2025 team. And then we have a Pollard jersey signed by Pollard.
And a lot of items there, too. Remember, those tickets are $10 each or 2 for $15, and you can get them here at SAC 1 and SAC 2. Like I said, games today will start at 5:30, so in about maybe less than 2 hours, those games will be taking place. Richard, any other final things you want to talk about and say to the folks here?
Hey, we got a mystery item, a mystery giveaway gift that will be also raffled off. It's a really nice item. And then we also have Bobby Taylor, who played for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's going to sign a game ball, and we're also going to raffle that ball off. So you've got plenty of chances to win one of these items.
Now, these tickets, the monies from these tickets are going to help for both of the teams that are going to advance to the state championship in Denton, Texas in June. These will help cover some of the meal cost for the athletes, correct?
That's correct. They're all the proceeds are going to the girls teams. We're not taking nothing out of it. So if we raise $3,000, each team will get $1,500. If we raise $4,000, each team gets $2,000 apiece. We need to help the girls get to the state and play there. This is really for them, not for anybody else.
Perfect. Like I said, when we come back after the break, we'll start recapping day 1 worth of action. You're watching the Hard Count right here live from Socorro ISD, SAC number 2, right here on EP Sports Network.
On June 10th, the Texas University Interscholastic League will meet to discuss next steps on sanctioning girls flag football. Currently, 22 states have sanctioned girls flag football. You can show your support by signing the petition to help make Texas next. Click on the link below or visit epsportsnetwork1.com for more information. Make Texas next. Provide opportunity, empower girls, and let's sanction the game.
Saturday, May 30th, World Championship Boxing returns to El Paso. It's a double main event night as hometown hero Stephanie Hahn takes on Holly Holm in a WBA lightweight world title defense. Amanda the Real Deal Serrano defends her unified titles against Germany's Cheyenne Pepper Hansen. Desley Robinson versus Mary Spencer. And Yocasta Valle versus Lourdes Suarez. 4 world title fights. One massive night for women's boxing at the El Paso County Coliseum. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and the Coliseum box office.
And welcome back here to sack number 2. I am Asa Costa, joined alongside the Hall of Fame coach Tony Grijalva and Mia Bentecourt running the operations here. We are ready to go into the Cowboys bracket here, Coach. A lot of good games that took place there at SAC 1 last night. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the bracket from those games here. And going in first there in Game 1, the Parkland Matadors handled business against Young Women's Leadership Academy, Coach.
Yeah, Parkland, they look pretty strong. They had some struggles during the season, but I think they've got things ironed out, especially offensively. They do have some good athletes, and putting up 33 points is very impressive to start the tournament.
And in game number 2, this was the early games here. Loretto handling their business there against Mission Early College, racking up 20 points there in their victory.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. Loretto had struggled during the season, especially offensively, but all of a sudden they came into the tournament and, things changed. 20 points, as you mentioned, and a win to move on to the next round. And
in game number 3, Battle of the Northeast, the Andress Eagles knock off the Irvin Rockets there. Irvin, showing some poise, but, a young squad there, no match for the Eagles.
Yeah, talk about the Irvin Rockets, and they went out there every week and they played hard, and they just didn't have the talent that they needed, and of course Andress has a lot of speed, and so they move on, and we'll see how they do as they move to the next round.
As we go into the next game, which was one that we had circled on the list there between the Franklin Cougars and the Mountwood Rams there, Coach. We got to see Franklin quite a bit this season, but Mountwood coming in and posting a shutout there, 22-0 against the Franklin Cougars.
Well, you got to credit the Mountwood Rams. They started the season out. They did start slow, but they kept moving, and the motivation was there. And they've gotten to the point now where they get that first win, and they have the momentum now going into today.
And in the next game there, Mountain View versus Bowie. Mountain View coming off an impressive regular season there. Gets the victory 18-0 over the Bowie Bears.
Exactly. You're right. Mountain View, they had a very successful season during the season, and they came in as well with a lot of confidence. But, you never count out the Bowie Bears. The Bowie, they played tough games every single week. They were in almost all of them. So credit to the Bowie Bears as well.
In the next game, the El Dorado Aztecs finding a way to win, Coach. They haven't been putting up that many points this season, but they do pitch a shutout against Anthony, winning that game 7-0.
Yeah, El Dorado is one of those teams that's been up and down. They've had some bad games. They've had some good games. They actually tied against Harmony during the regular season, so that shows you they had that potential. And to score 7 points and get away with the win, the Aztecs do advance.
And speaking of the defending Dallas Cowboys champions from last year, the Harmony Tigers were shocked last night as they dropped to Parkland 12-0 as the Matadors come in after playing that game one and knock off the defending champs, Coach.
Yeah, second game of the evening for the Parkland Matadors. That goes to show you don't just play one game. If it's a bracket style, then you go ahead and you advance, and Parkland has been doing that. So they go into today with a lot of momentum. For the Harmony Tigers, I know it was very disappointing, and it was a loss that they're not used to. In 2 years of competition, that they're not used to that. But I thought the Parkland defense especially played very strong defense and gave Harmony offense lots of trouble.
And next, the Horizon Scorpions continuing their impressive play, knocking off Loreto 33-0 there, Coach. We will see them tonight here at SAC number 2. But the Scorpions there showing some poise there from the Horizon area.
I'm looking forward to watching Horizon. Haven't had a chance to see them at all this season since they play out in the county area, but a very impressive record. And as you mentioned, an impressive offense, scoring 33 points. And I'm looking forward to seeing them tonight.
And Northwest Early College had a good regular season run, but fell to Eastlake here. Don't have the score off the top of my head on that there, but Eastlake coming in, Coach, showing some dynamic plays there with a couple big runs that I saw last night, and getting the victory and advancing into the tournament.
Right, and a team like Eastlake, again, inconsistent during the season, but I think in playing the tough competition that they played during the season helped them to get, when you get into the tournament and play hard, and they had a big win over the Northwest group.
And in the final game of the night, the El Paso Tigers battled against the Andress Eagles. And, Coach, that game, for the most part, was close all the way, but the Tigers continue and they advance, knocking off the Golden Eagles 13-6.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the El Paso High Tigers. I like the way they run their offense. They're very disciplined running the offense. Their defense plays tough as well. And then as I talked about before, the Andress Eagles with a lot of speed, always good competition. But the Tigers came out on top, and I'm excited to see them tonight.
Again, that is day one of bracket play for the Dallas Cowboys there. As we get back and go ahead and put the bracket back up here, as we're going to take a look at tonight's games here for the Cowboys brackets here, Coach. And in game number, where is it at? Game number 12. That I have it wrong on my bracket, but it's there. It's going to be the Parkland Matadors versus the Isleta Indians, Coach. And you and Mike Bettis will have the call for that game. Parkland, coming off that impressive win last night, will face Isleta, who has some star power of their own.
They really do. They have a lot of power offensively. You look at Parkland, they come in with 3 wins and 6 losses. Don't let that record fool you. They are better than a 3-6 team, and I think they're going to show it tonight. And as you mentioned, Isleta has some athletes, and especially one individual, wide receiver, plays safety, free safety as well, and she dominates when she's on the field. So that should be a very interesting matchup in game number 1.
That game will be at 5:30 here at SAC number 2 as we move into game number 13, as it will be another great one there, a battle there of the Far East between the Mountain View Lobos and the Eastlake Falcons, Coach.
Interesting. Mountain View 8-1, playing in their regular season games. So you know that they've done something right, offensively as well as defensively. And then Eastlake, as I talked about, they've been up and down during the season. They come in 5 wins and 6 losses. But again, you're into bracket play, which means that it's do or die. You win or you go home. And I think that's going to be the extra motivation for the Falcons.
In the bottom, not bottom, but the lower bracket here is going to be game number 14 between between the Horizon Scorpions and the Mountwood Rams there, Coach. That one's going to be a battle there as, of course, Mountwood has their star player, Brooklyn Rodriguez, that rusher, who is committed to play college flag football as well. Yeah. Will face that Horizon offense that has not lost a game yet this year.
Exactly. And, if you want to watch an exciting running back, as you mentioned, the running back for Mountwood, very, very quick, very shifty, and, she knows how to carry the ball, and she's got a lot of speed. And then, of course, you got a Horizon team that's undefeated coming in. So another good matchup there on game number 14.
And finally, on the other one will be El Paso versus El Dorado. Again, interesting to see this one because, like I said, El Dorado has not put up that many points, and the Tigers have.
That's exactly right. And, I think it is a game of offense versus defense. El Paso High, as I mentioned before, offensively, they run a good system and a good scheme. They like to throw the ball, and they have good personnel to be able to execute that offense. And as you mentioned, El Dorado, they just keep pushing along. They don't have big wins and anything like that, but they're in the brackets. They're in the second round.
Again, these are the Cowboys championship bracket games. These games will be played tonight here at SISD SAC number 2, with the first game starting at 5:30. We will have 3 broadcasts live at 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30. You can watch that on EPSportsNetwork1.com and our YouTube page as well. When we come back from the break, we will break down the Texans bracket. You are watching the Hard Count live here from Socorro ISD SAC number 2 right here on EP Sports Network.
On June 10th, the Texas University Interscholastic League will meet to discuss next steps on sanctioning girls flag football. Currently, 22 states have sanctioned girls flag football. You can show your support by signing the petition to help make Texas next. Click on the link below or visit epsportsnetwork1.com for more information. Make Texas next. Provide opportunity, empower girls, and let's sanction the game.
And welcome back here to Socorro ISD SAC number 2. I'm Asa Costa, joined alongside the Hall of Fame coach Tony Grijalva, Mia Bentecourt, and Richard Corona still in the booth here today. Again, this game is being brought to you by the El Paso Sports Commission and Zebra Sports and the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys and Region 19, Coach. It's a mouthful there.
Those are great sponsors. Yes, we're very fortunate.
Very fortunate enough. And taking place last night here at SAC number 2 was the Texans division here, Coach. And a lot of very, very exciting games here as we move into that. We'll take a look here as we put the bracket up on the screen, as you see it there. In game number 1 at 5:30, it was the Del Valle Conquistadores against the Da Vinci Dragons there, Coach. And Del Valle handling business, knocking off the Dragons 31-0.
Yeah, Del Valle was just too strong, especially offensively, for a Da Vinci team that had struggled, honestly, during the season. So Del Valle comes away with a pretty easy win there.
In game number 2, it was the Austin Panthers versus Young Women's Leadership Academy, and the Panthers knock off the Transformers there, Coach, 22-6.
Yeah, Austin Panthers, they're one of those teams that, as I've talked about with other teams, they kind of struggled during the season, up and down, had a couple of good wins, but then they had some ugly losses. But again, coming into this this bracket, this tournament, things get a little bit more intense, and I think the Austin Panthers showed that last night in that first game with that win over the Young Women's Leadership Academy.
And the final game that happened at 5:30, it was between the Clint Lions and the Hanks Knights, and Hanks getting that victory there, Coach, 33-0 for the Knights.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised at this game. Hanks was one of those teams that struggled, again, all season. I don't think they had a win at all during the regular season, but you come into the tournament, and so that the focus changes a little bit, and a big win, 33-0 over the Clint Lions.
In the second round of games there in field number 1, it was the Pebble Hills Spartans versus the Fabens Wildcats, and Pebble Hills putting on some points there, 31-0 over Fabens.
Yeah, the Spartans looked strong there yesterday. Offensively, as they have throughout the season. One of the things that I've noticed, Ace, is these teams, especially the Socorro teams, they played 10 games during the season instead of the 8 that some of the other teams played. And I think that has helped them as far as get that extra experience, and it showed last night with the win by Pebble Hills.
Game number 5 featured the Canutillo Eagles versus the Emmanuel Christian Warriors there, and Canutillo getting the victory over Emmanuel Christian.
Yeah, I did that game yesterday, and I was really surprised with Canutillo. We had seen them before during the season, but I think that, again, they stepped up to another level. They're going to be a dangerous team throughout the tournament.
And in game number 7, that was between the Bel Air Highlanders and the Coronado Thunderbirds. Bel Air putting on an offensive show there, Coach, shutting out the T-Birds 34-0.
Yeah, Bel Air was very successful during the season, as they were last year. They got knocked off. They made a deep run, got knocked off, towards the end of the bracket, and I expect them to do the same again this season and try and get to at least to that championship game.
In the next game here, the top-seeded Eastwood Troopers faced the Del Valle Conquistadores as they had advanced into the next round, but too much Troopers for the Conquistadores as Eastwood wins it 29-0.
Well, the Eastwood Troopers come in averaging close to 30 points a game on offense, and that's tough to do for 9 games to average that many points, and they did, and they beat a good Del Valle team who's put 31 points on Da Vinci. So that sort of tells you the strength of the Eastwood Troopers both on offense and on defense. Next
up, the red-hot Chapin Huskies faced Austin Panthers as they had made it from the first game there, knocking off the Panthers 36-0 there at Field 3.
Yeah, I remember the first week that we saw Chapin, I think it was at Franklin in week 2 or week 3. I was impressed with them. They have a lot of athletes. They have a couple of good quarterbacks and obviously a lot of speed. So I'm impressed to watch the Chapin Huskies see how far they can advance. And in Game 10 between Socorro and Burgess, unfortunately Burgess would have to forfeit, so Socorro will get the automatic win and advance to play today there again. So Socorro takes that victory there in game number 10. Game number 11, the defending Region 19 and Texas champions, the America's Trailblazers, looks like they're firing on all cylinders, Coach, knocking off the Hanks Knights 33-7. Exactly. They got their full team back now after athletes that were in other sports. So, they look a little bit stronger, and I'm sure they're going to make a run today and tomorrow. In a battle here in the last game of the night it was between Jefferson and Riverside there, Coach. The Rangers and the Silver Foxes battled it out, and Jefferson coming up with the victory there, 12-7. Yeah, I was watching the game a little bit last night. A very interesting game, very competitive game, and congratulations to the Silver Foxes. They're getting into the next round. They've got a bunch of players that aren't really high-skilled players, but they play together, and obviously they play with a lot of heart, and that's what's going to give them the advantage. As we keep it there, as we move into tonight's games, tonight all the Texans games will be being played at SAC number 1, and because it's only 2 fields, all the games will be broadcasted live on EPSportsNetwork1.com starting at 5:30 p.m. The games that will be
called on this one for game number 12 will be by Sebastian Perez Navarro, and that will be between the top-seeded Eastwood Troopers and the red-hot Pebble Hill Spartans, Coach.
Right. Well, I mean, you look at the numbers for Eastwood, and it's really hard to imagine that anybody could beat them the way they've been playing. But that's why they play the game, and that's why we have the bracket finals. But in any case, a tough test this time for the Eastwood Troopers going up against Pebble Hills.
In game number 13, it's going to be a tough one there. Socorro's well rested, but they're going to have to face the hard Canutillo Eagles there in game number 13, Coach.
Yeah, you look at this game. This is one of those games, if you look at the records, they're just very even. Canutillo, 8 wins, 8 wins, no losses, 1 tie. Socorro, 8-3. Both teams play hard. Both teams have talent. And I'm anxious to see the replay on this ball game, but it's going to be a close one.
In game number 14, the Chapin Huskies will face off against Jefferson there. Going to be a tough game for those Silver Foxes, Coach.
Yeah, another big challenge for Jefferson, and they're probably going to be a little bit outmatched against a good Chapin team, but you know that the Foxes are not going to quit.
And in game number 15, the America's Trailblazers will battle against the red-hot Bel Air Highlanders there. That game will be taking place there at SAC number 2.
Yeah, another interesting matchup. Defending champions, Americas, 9 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. Bel Air, 7-2, and both teams have experience in this type of atmosphere as far as playing in bracket games. So this should be an interesting match as well.
And going into the next round, there will be another set of games here happening tonight. We'll keep it here with the Texans. The winner of game number 14 between Chapin and Jefferson will face the winner of America's and Bel Air.
Mm-hmm.
That game will be played at 7:30 p.m. That division is going to be tough there, Coach.
Yeah, well, once you get to this round right here, all the teams are going to be good, and it's going to come down to whoever is ready to play at that point. All of these teams are going to be playing their second game for tonight. So, no excuses if you have to play 2 games. I mean, that's the way it is. If you want to win and advance, then you got to play hard.
Got to do it in the upper bracket. The winner between the Eastwood Troopers and the Pebble Hill Spartans will face off against the winner of the Canutillo Eagles and the Socorro Bulldogs.
Yeah, and again, the anticipation is that Eastwood will probably get to this point. So, it'll be tough as far as getting to that final day of the tournament.
And the winner from those games, from games 16 and 17, will play in the Houston Texans championship game that will be happening Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. right here at SAC number 2. So tune in live there for that championship contest. And the winner of that game will face off for the Region 19 championship at 7:30. As we go back to the Cowboys bracket here, as the winner from Parkland and Ysleta will face off against the winner from Mountain View and Eastlake, Coach.
Yeah, again, you're talking about the level now of the brackets where it's going to be all of these teams now are pretty much evenly matched. So that's what makes the game much more interesting, the matchup much more interesting. And I think some of the coaching aspects come into play here, as we saw yesterday with the Parkland and Harmony game. You're going to see a little bit more intense, I guess, we'll put it, coaching tonight and tomorrow.
And in the lower bracket, Horizon versus Mountwood and El Paso versus El Dorado. Again, those games will be played at 7:30 here at SAC number 2. And, of course, the winner from that game will play in the Dallas Cowboys championship game Wednesday at 6:30 as well, as the field will be split up into 2, and then the championship game at 7:30 after. So a jam-packed next 2 days here, Coach, for female flag football. And remember, the winners from the Dallas Cowboy bracket and the Texans bracket will compete at the state tournament in Denton, Texas, against the other city champions in the Cowboys League and the Texans League that include Austin, Houston, San Antonio, and the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Right, and then, the motivation is the level of motivation a little bit higher this year than it was last year. Last year, both teams, once they won, here in El Paso. That was it. But now they get to represent El Paso, and again, take a lot of pride in doing that as well.
Again, remember, there were raffle tickets that are going to be sold today and tomorrow that have autographed merchandise that were sent over by both clubs, the Texans and the Cowboys. Tickets are $10 each, or you can get 2 for $15. Drawing will happen before the championship game on Wednesday. All monies from those raffle tickets will go to helping feed the meals for both of the 2 championship teams that will be heading over to Denton. So come on out, buy some raffle tickets and help out, and you score some cool swag, some autographed footballs, helmets. I know, like I said, our producer here, she's a big Cowboy fan, but we'll try to get her Texans gear as well there. So again, the games will start live in it is 4 o'clock, so about an hour and 22 minutes. The games will be live. You and Mike Perez will be here at SAC number 2. Sebastian Perez Navarro and Eddie Morelos will be doing individual broadcasts there at SAC number 1. Again, you can watch the games live at epsportsnetwork1.com. Click on the flyer, and you'll have all the video players on the screen. Select the game that you want. Each time block is stated, so it should be pretty easy to find your game there, Coach. And the replays will be immediately available at the completion of each game.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing, especially for me. Did 4 games yesterday, and then when I got home, I watched the replay of all the other games, and it's very interesting. And again, it's very competitive for these young ladies to go out there and do what they do.
Again, jam-packed action. We will have another pregame show happening tomorrow around 3 o'clock as well. Again, we want to say special thanks here to Socorro ISD for their hospitality, the El Paso Sports Commission, and Zebra Sports for allowing us to broadcast this game for you, and everybody else tuning in and seeing these girls in action here. Coach, your final thoughts before we get ready for these broadcasts?
Well, yesterday was round 1, and so it was just a little bit of a taste of the competition. Today and tomorrow, it gets a bit serious, so I'm looking forward to that.
Tell us who you think's going to win. Go ahead and message us on our social medias. And, of course, little simple plug here, the Stephanie Hahn versus Holly Holm fight happening on May 30th. Your chance to win a pair of tickets. Go to our social media page, find the post, like, share, and tag somebody. We'll be doing a drawing on the 28th of May for a pair of tickets to the fight happening at the El Paso County Coliseum. A jam-packed MVP card is featuring Amanda Serrano as well, Coach.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting night of boxing.
So for the Hall of Fame coach, Tony Grijalva, Mr. Rick Corona, can't even say his last name today. I'm Mesa Costa. We thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow, or actually later on today for our broadcast, but tomorrow for a new episode of The Hard Count, the Flag Football Edition, right here on EP Sports Network.
Saturday, May 30th, World Championship Boxing returns to El Paso. It's a double main event night as hometown hero Stephanie Hahn takes on Holly Holm in a WBA lightweight world title defense. Amanda the Real Deal Serrano defends her unified titles against Germany's Cheyenne Pepper Hansen. Desley Robinson versus Mary Spencer. And Yocasta Valle versus Lourdes Juarez. 4 world title fights. One massive night for women's boxing at the El Paso County Coliseum. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com at the Coliseum box office.
Thank you for watching this broadcast of Female Flag Football on El Paso Sports Network. Visit us at epsportsnetwork1.com for your source of sports and entertainment.